Hey y'all, it's been a little minute since I kicked it with y'all and did a makeup video, so let's just get into it today. We're starting with this moisturizer. I picked it up from Target. I was influenced by influencer Aaliyah Face, and then this is a primer from Too Faced. I don't know, I just feel like I have a bunch of stuff that I don't use, so that's why I use that one. But my favorite is the Milk Hydro Grip because it just does what it's supposed to do. I used the Too Faced one in the middle because that's where I have pores. It's the primed and poreless one. So yeah. And then we're gonna mix these two NARS and Too Faced foundations. Mostly because right now I have a tan, and the one that I normally use, which is the NARS, is too light. So I had to mix them to make the perfect shade. And I do realize that it does match my face, but my body is a little bit lighter. So we'll fix that in a second with concealer. You know, sometimes you just gotta go with your gut. So I did see that it was too light. So I started to add a little bit more of the NARS in the middle just to kind of make sure I match everywhere, but it still doesn't matter because my foundation looks a little bit darker because I matched with my face and not with my body. But we'll fix it with concealer and it's all going to come together. Today, I really wanted to focus on giving myself like that super blushy look. So I'm going to use a lot of concealer to pretty much sculpt out where I want my face to be lighter. So that when I put the blush and stuff down, it can stand out more. So this concealer that I'm using is not Too Faced. Sorry, my fault. I am going to use Too Faced, but this one is Tarte and Tan Sand. I don't know. Lately, I've really been liking this shade on me. Like, I don't know what it is, but it just does what it's supposed to do. If you know, you know. This brush for blending out concealer, literally top tier, like real techniques. You did that with this brush. Like, I don't understand how and why, but it gives you like a perfect little airbrushed effect. So yeah, that's what we're doing here. We're just gonna go ahead and blend out the edges so that it's not harsh, and it does kind of lighten up that foundation a little bit. And I'm gonna go in with 2 layers of foundation this time because I feel like I went in a little too quickly when I was blending that out, so I didn't get as much coverage as I could have gotten. And also, when I'm putting on my concealer, I do like scrape the spoolie off of the sides, so I don't really have a large like amount on the brush itself anyway, so it's really like thin layers. Like, you don't want to kick it on. It does look like I'm covering a lot of region with the concealer, but it's like a really thin layer, so trust me, it's not gonna look cakey. It's gonna look perfectly fine. And I'm just going in with tap 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 motions. You don't want to swipe, you want to tap, and you want to blend, okay? And as you can see, I still didn't touch the under eye area because that's where I want the most coverage. I just wanted to make sure that everything was, blended, and I had like a gradient effect. Like, it wasn't just dark and then light. Like, no, it needs to be blended. So take your time, babes. Don't rush. Take as much time as you need. I mean, what? You want the face to be beat or you want to look a mess? Which one? So yeah, I'm basically just blending that, and then once I'm done with that, and I feel like the concealer has sat under my eye for enough time, I'm gonna go in and just tap under the eye. Both of these eyes, make sure everything is blended, everything has a nice little gradient. One thing that now that I'm looking back, editing, I definitely could have went over like the edges where I blended that out with the brush that I used my foundation with, but your girl was sick for real, so cut me some slack, okay? Like, literally fighting a cold, but I was just like, get up and do something, please, for yourself. So now we're going in with this Born This Way concealer because I bought it a while ago, and to be honest with you, it's not my fave, but it's like $30, so it needs to get used. yeah, it needs to get used. So The shade is actually really nice. I just don't know if it works well with the foundations that I'm using, or if I need to use a sponge. I don't know what it is, but I feel like every time I use it, I crease. But I think also the tool that that you use to put it on, I think it gives you a lot of concealer, so that might be it. Now we're going to go in and start to set under the eyes. We're going to be using the Laura Mercier translucent powder directly under my eyes. And then for the rest of my face, I have this other Laura Mercier compact travel that I just mixed a bunch of different powders in. So I really couldn't tell you what it is. I do know that there's some Sacha Buttercup in there. There's some Laura Mercier translucent honey in there, and maybe a little bit of Huda Beauty in there. So I just mixed it together to give it like a nice little light yellow color. So you could just use your normal translucent powder, but I'm extra. Something that's just like a little bit less white, I think, is what I was going for. And then I see the girlies do this, so I don't know. It does work, but I don't know if it like looks good on my actual face shape. But anyway, we're gonna go through and make sure we bake the sides of our nose. I baked the sides of my nose twice, just because I like that really nice chiseled look. And then we're gonna start layering on the blush. I really wanted the bright under eye and the blushy cheeks type of look. That's why I went straight in with the blush this time. I normally bronze and then blush, but I went really light with the bronzer and really heavy with the blush. And I think that might be my new thing this fall. Like, something about it makes it look really like girly and cute. The color that you see me putting on the first time was an eyeshadow from Juvias place, so that's why I didn't show it. But this palette is really old also. It's from NYX. I think it's called the Sweet Cheeks palette. I'm not really sure if you can get it anywhere, but realistically all you need to start with is like a orange blush on the outer parts of your face, and then just on top of that go with like a pink blush towards the front of your face. As you can see, there's the eyeshadow palette. And now I'm dipping into like orange and yellow just to give me like a little bit bronze contour type of vibe. Just a teeny tiny bit, because I really wanted you to mostly focus on seeing blush. So that's why I layered my blush on. Now we're going to go in with a pink. Put that on my cheeks. And then I've been liking a more pinky highlighter to make my blush look more like boom in your face, like you see it. I don't know, for some reason it just makes it stand out more. Then I'm gonna dust away the powder underneath my eyes with this Wet n Wild palette. You can use a pressed powder. This is just the one that I had with me at the time, so I'm gonna use that. I wanted it to be a lighter in color because I wanted it to still look bright in the center. And then I'm going to add a little bit of bronzer to my nose. I didn't cream contour my nose. It really depends on the day whether or not I'm going to cream contour my nose. And clearly that day I was not feeling it. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and snatch the nose a little bit. Because I didn't use like a super tiny brush, I used a fluffy eyeshadow brush. This is why I usually end up baking twice. If you use a smaller, more precise brush, you don't have to bake your nose twice. Just FYI, but I'm too lazy to look for the right brush, so I just baked twice. And here I am again, baking the sides of my nose once again. Just want it to really look like squoze in, snatched, if you will. Once I was doing my face, I realized that I didn't have any setting powder or setting spray. So I went in with the Sephora Micro Smooth Powder instead of a pressed powder, because the pressed powder is a little bit heavier. So I just used this Sephora Micro Smooth Powder just to, touch up the face. Then I use this Morphe brush. My brows are atrocious right now. So, however the brows come out is how they come out right now, babes, okay? Don't judge me. Judge your auntie. Because you know she still draw her eyebrows on with a lip pencil. So, anyway, I'm just going to give myself the best go. And like I said before, I was fighting a cold at this point. So, I eventually just drew them on and just kept it pushing. How these brows came out is how they came out. I was not being a perfectionist with my brows because I really just wanted to test out a new base routine. So they will come out okay, but they're definitely not the best brows I ever could have did in life. And I also don't use this pencil anymore. I'm more of like a Anastasia brow powder type of girl, or just a brow powder in general, honestly. It just gives me a softer look, and I like it a little bit more than the pencil. If I'm going to use a pencil, I usually start with, doing it first, or use a different pencil by Maybelline. But anyway, now we're going to go ahead and clean up the underbrow. Is that even a thing? Yeah, we're going to clean it up with concealer, both of them. And then I'm going to use the same small brush that I used to paint on my foundation on the upper part of my brows. And like I said before, the brows are going to come out how they're coming out today because, yeah, your girl is sick and tired. And we're going to go in with the Kola Lip Liner from Juvia's place. These is just a pencil that I use on myself, so I'm not worried about getting any clients sick. I have something else that I use for them. So, yeah. Then we're going to go in with these lip glosses. One is from Tsuwavy Beauty and Nude Beach. And this one is by Heart Revolution. This one is the Tsuwavy Beauty in Nude Beach. It has a little like pinky but somewhat orange tone to it. It's like a light peach. And then the other one that I'm putting on top is going to be the I Heart Revolution in Chocolate Chip Cookie. Then we're going to top it off with the I Heart Revolution or Makeup Revolution Pout Bomb and Candy, just to give it a nice little yeah. And we're going to go ahead and finally dust that bake off. These are the lashes. Pop those on. While I was putting on my lashes, I went in and filled in my beauty marks and my moles that I have on my nose and under my eyes. So that's what you see there. And then just to give it another extra little pop, I'm going to add this Juvia's Place bronzer to my eyes and the center of my nose just to give me some warmth there in the middle. And also, before I was officially done, I topped my lip off with the e.l.f. gloss in the shade Nude Beach, because if you know, you know, that gloss is it, period. And this is the final look. It came out so great. I hope you guys enjoyed glamming with me, and I'll see you next time. I love you so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you want to see next. Bye!